my 0-day update. Just walking around here in West Reading, PA. A friend of mine lives here. I'm staying at his place while I'm in town or while I'm off trail. They're looking for a barbershop to get this thing, you know, fixed. And thought this would be the neighborhood, or it was suggested this would be the neighborhood to find a good one. So looking around. Neat little town. Not so little either. Neat town. And a perfect 11 of the day, weather-wise. Holy cow. Look at that. Alright, just got another haircut beard trim at Fine Lines right there. See how long this holds up. There's no product in my hair, so it's still kind of flying around. You're taking footage. Hey, good morning. It's day 122. It's barely morning. A little bit of a road walk here through Fort Clinton, and this highway is insanely busy. I'm not going to cross all 4 lanes of it in about a quarter mile, so this will be interesting. There's just non-stop cars. Motorcycles. Well, shoot, I had it in my head that the trail goes down the highway, but there's actually a trail back over here in the woods a little bit that just parallels the highway that's behind all these first row of houses. So basically just 1 block over. So I'm backtracking a little bit to see if I can figure out how to get over there, because this is crazy. So, architecturally speaking, I've noticed a phenomenon in some of these small towns. I saw it a lot in Duncannon, and I see it some here. And but that is not just cladding old wood with vinyl, aluminum, or asbestos siding. That's kind of ubiquitous in small town America. But around here, I've seen a lot where they have clad older brick buildings with artificial stone that's like thin, like 1 or 2 inches thick. And I would not have thought that until the other day. I saw one that had been clipped by a vehicle, and the brick underneath was exposed, and that's when I realized that the stone on the outside of it was just a couple inches, if that, if like an inch thick tile basically over the brick. And I understand the rationale for repairing or updating a historic building, that it's cheaper to clad it in some new siding than to maintain the old material. But I'd never seen that done over brick so much, and I'd almost rather see vinyl siding over brick, because that could be more easily replaced in the future than a fully grouted in artificial stone. But here's a perfect example of that, where they even covered the historic woodwork at the gable with aluminum siding, including these aluminum boxes to cover the brackets, so that all of the old wood is covered in aluminum and all the old brick is covered in stone. And the only original piece, I would guess, is that probably cast iron column at the corner. But anyway, just an interesting observation that I had not seen before in, you know, down south or whatever. And then behind me, this is your classic example of asbestos siding, which is probably over an older wood siding substrate from, you know, what was the era of asbestos, like the 1920s to the 1970s or 60s maybe. I still think Hardy should make a retro replication of the asbestos siding shingle. Would be a cool material to use as modern code compliant siding, but anyway. I'm looking for a crack in the armor here where I can see the old brick underneath it, but this is pretty tightly buttoned up. I thought maybe the bronze plaque would have a little bit about the history of the building, but no, it's like the fireman's prayer or something like that. All right, so here we are back on the AT. Here's the double blaze where I was supposed to take a right down this side street rather than up there on the highway. See, this is the kind of gingerbread I'm talking about. That on this building now looks like that. And, you know, I totally understand the cost of maintaining something like that is significantly higher than maintaining concrete and aluminum or vinyl, as opposed to intricately carved gingerbread made of wood. So I get what they were thinking. It's just, it's also a shame from kind of a historical and architectural purism standpoint. But yeah, we were talking about the houses in Reading, for example. It was just like city blocks and city blocks of old rundown row houses and contiguous block buildings that we just need a massive intervention to be renovated up to today's standards, or even just renovated up to a level of non-decay. This was unexpected. We actually go under the highway. Oh, there's someone camping here. Or napping, as it were. Oh, look at the ironworks. I just took a little, well, I guess it was a pee break that turned into a water break that turned into a lunch break right here at this old fire ring. Still only partway up the climb of the day, but I got started so close to noon that I just stopped and went ahead and made a lunch out of it. So, pressing on, 5 miles to the shelter, 4.8. I'll see how I feel when I get there. I could probably stand to do some journaling, navel gazing, that sort of thing. So I may make it a short day, and then just back to the full grind tomorrow. That's my current thinking, but I'll see how I feel when I get there, which should be around 3:30 or 4. Blah, blah. Oh, here's another anecdote to talk about. This is my carbon fiber Gossamer gear pole. 5 ounces. And I popped my head into Walmart. Oh, also, you know, value on the streets, $95 to fully replace or purchase. And I went to Walmart and got this, which is a perfectly serviceable, get an angle, perfectly serviceable aluminum trekking pole by renowned outdoor company Ozark Trail, that weighs more than double what the Gossamer Gear one does. But I bought a set of 2 of these for $22. So this is $11 worth of trekking pole for only double the weight. So you know, on some level, it's almost refreshing to be walking through what one could dub boring woods, because, you know, there's nothing like it's nice to have a break in the monotony of just absolutely gorgeous all the time, where you feel like you need to get your camera out and film or photograph it constantly, and then you end up with an album full of just amazingly sun-dappled ferns over and over again. So, you know, this is a refreshing change where it looks like you could be in any woods in the world. I mean, do you know what I mean? And I'm being facetious, but I'm also kind of being serious, because everybody I talked to, for example, the Shenandoahs, everybody I talked to after the Shenandoahs were almost like bored with it, with how gorgeous it was all the time. It's almost, you need some mundanity to contrast the beauty when it does happen. See, I got water at that last stream as though I'm camping here. I'm still like 0.2 from the campsite or the shelter, but I'm carrying a full complement of water, a full dinner, breakfast, and hit the trail complement of water, just in case, for those 0.2 miles, and on top of a full 5-day load of food. So fortunately, it's a tiny, short water carry compared to some I've had to do in the past. I don't know if there's any way to show that. There you go. And all right, there's the shelter. And I am looking for some hammock trees. And oh, look at this. Is that more uvular or testicular? And then, oh, someone left their socks. Are they good socks? They look like good socks, except they're worn. That's too bad for them. All right, I'm gonna drop my pack and walk around and count off some trees and try to pick an optimum setup. Pretty sure. I do believe I'm gonna stay here, take myself an afternoon of leisure, catch up on some journaling and videos and things that I didn't get to yesterday. So the next shelter is, 7 miles away, and I don't want to do that. It's more desire than anything else. So more later. Well, I'm all set up here on the edge of the Windsor Furnace Shelter campsite. Where's my, there it is. And might have the perfect pitch here today. Oh, shelter's behind that cluster of trees there, you can't see it. I see one hiker all day. And I set up in camp and take a little nap. And now the shelter and campsite is just packed with, I would say, maybe a dozen campers out of nowhere coming up behind me. And I actually know some of them.